The Golden State Warriors won their opening game, yes, their opening night against the Trailblazers, and it wasn't particularly close. Yeah, the Golden State Warriors won 139 to 104. One more time, 139 to 104. Okay. So what stood out? Let's just talk about overall, in general, what stood out with this year's team. Oh my gosh. Well, number one, okay, the Warriors continued to play consistent and consistently good defense all the way through the rebound, despite their absolutely atrocious start. I believe that they were like 0 for their first 10 or 0 for their first 8 shots from the field. The Warriors were. However, they really stood firm with their defense. They defended effectively without fouling, and also they got the rebound. So they went through with the whole defensive possession all the way through the rebound. And that is going to always keep you in a game. When you play defense, when you play consistently effective defense, and who are some of the standouts? Let's talk about some of the standouts. Of course, Draymond, right? But gosh, Wiggins was good. D'Anthony Melton was really, really good. GP2 was amazing. And Kyle Anderson, freaking awesome. Amazing and effective defense. And I'll tell you what, that's a way that you can stay in a game when you're not shooting well. And also, playing effective defense is a way to maintain and retain a lead when you have one. Maybe that can be different than last year's squad, retaining those leads. Okay, what else really stood out? The Warriors held the Trailblazers. They held Portland to 50 first half points. Again, when you hold, in this day and age, in this day's modern NBA, right, to hold an opponent to 50 points at a half, you're always going to be in it. How many points are you going to score? You're probably going to score at least like 40, right? You will be in the game when you play effective defense, and the Warriors have shown through preseason and through this first game that they can most definitely play effective defense. They're really, really impressive. Quick hands. I think even Steph had a few steals. We'll get to the steals totals by a couple players, a couple of the standouts, Melton and Kyle Anderson, when I do some stats. But gosh, here's one question, though. Here's one question. I made a couple notes, a few notes, right? Jonathan Kuminga wasn't necessarily amazing he did great with rim pressure. One of the best things that he did was pressure the rim. I know he got upwards of 6+ free throws at least. And although he didn't finish at the rim as frequently, he got to the line, get to the charity stripe, A+ in that respect. However, he had 4 turnovers in the game, it was a little alarming, right? He started slow. My question to Warriors fans, and this has to be an honest question, can Kuminga be effective for this Warriors team in playing consistent minutes? Okay, so here's my question, one more time. Here's the way that I posed it. Does Kuminga look like he's ready to play consistent minutes as an NBA starter on a winning, contending NBA team? I think that, he showed us today that he is able to, the Warriors really thrashed the Trailblazers, right? Of course, I'm always critical of Kuminga, and I think that the first 15 minutes of the game showed why, right? But what I need to do, and what the Warriors have done, and what's great, especially Coach Kerr, is they're really patient with him. So the good news is while he did have 4 turnovers, while Kuminga did commit 4 turnovers, the most by the team, by any player, on the Warriors in the game, is that there's so much good that comes with that. The energy, the pace, and the force that he plays with. He was good. He was decent on D. We want him to be good, and we're really looking forward to and looking for great, but just good, really solid overall start. Even though the starters weren't able to consistently necessarily start hot and score, they didn't need it this game, did they? They didn't need it. Also, I know that the Warriors know that they have to start out hot. They need to rack up wins in an incredibly competitive Western Conference with a relatively easy schedule to start out. And I know that Kuminga must have been feeling a lot of pressure, just pressure to win, pressure to perform. And that all the Warriors did such a good job being really selfless with the ball, unselfish. Despite the pressure that might be on individual players and the team as a whole, they have to deliver. They have to deliver wins, and they have to do it early. Okay, Buddy Hield fits with this squad. Buddy Hield, buddy. An amazing shot maker. I didn't know he was that good of a shot maker, to be honest. When you look at Buddy Hield's box scores from like Philadelphia, it's interesting because it's like, yes, he can put up the 20s and 30s, but then he has a few games where it's like 2 points, 3 points. I'm not necessarily waiting for that other shoe to drop. And here's why. I think that Buddy Hield can just straight up be consistent and be a consistent scorer, getting these really good shots within the Warriors offense. Buddy Hield fits the way that the Warriors play basketball, and he fits it to a T. He can play with Steph and Curry, where it's their ability to just spread the floor, to play. I mean, like, gosh, I swear that like there was almost like Steph almost had like a wing to wing, not even like a corner. Steph was in like the near corner, and he passed it to almost Buddy Hield on the far wing for a three-pointer, I believe. Just absolutely amazing ability and shot-making ability from Buddy Hield, and he must love the spacing, love the pacing of this Warriors offense. It's like if we didn't think that Buddy Hield could be any better, right? I think let's see how many points. If we didn't think that 22 points in 15 minutes, he also had 5 rebounds. He was working, rebounding. He finished a couple plays as well at the rim, a 3-level threat score outside, mid-range, and at the rim. Buddy Hield just A plus signing / like 6-team deal by Mike Dunleavy Jr. Well done. Now, Draymond Green, regarding that technical foul. And I have to say this, and I wrote it down, and I want to be clear, I want to be crystal clear and concise with this conclusion, which I am positive. Like, so what I'm saying is correct. And so like, if like Draymond can think otherwise, and that's fine, he will be technically incorrect or wrong, and I am technically right. Now, you got to follow me here, y'all. You have to follow me. Regarding his technical, Draymond Green needs to understand and, unfortunately, respect the function of a ref. An NBA basketball referee, now listen, I know this stinks, they are literally allowed to make bad calls. One more time, Draymond, NBA referees, I know that you don't want them to. They probably don't want them to. Hey, I don't want them to. Hey, maybe nobody wants them to. They make bad calls, and also they are allowed to make bad calls. Nothing like if they make too many of them, then the NBA, I believe, like the league audits it and reviews it, right? But like they are literally allowed to F up, missee something, have a bad whistle and whatnot. They're literally allowed to do that. So like it's not like if you're arguing a bad call, if Draymond is arguing a bad call, he can easily be correct. Okay, so stop. Say it's a bad call. Draymond calls it out as a bad call. Draymond's right, probably, and the ref is probably wrong. The ref is allowed to be wrong. Draymond's allowed to be correct. However, Draymond isn't allowed to verbally abuse the ref because of that. Do you see? Do you see where this all makes so much sense to you? Because it's correct. Isn't what I'm saying is right. Like, so the refs, they make bad calls. Humans make bad calls. They err. That's why the last 2-minute report or whatever is there by the NBA. It happens, okay? That's legal. They can like literally do that. It is illegal to verbally abuse a ref. Like that's why he gets the technical fouls. The ref is absolutely allowed to make the bad call and often do. The time to litigate said bad calls is absolutely not on the floor right after the play. Let Steve Kerr take a fine after. Let Joe Lacob literally ask the NBA to audit all the bad calls. And also, listen to this. Do you remember a few years ago, did the Lakers win the NBA championship? Do you remember a few years ago when the NBA literally apologized to the Lakers? Do you remember that? They did. The NBA apologized to the Los Angeles Lakers because of missed calls. Look, seriously, okay? So that's what you do. You litigate this stuff afterwards. You can, like Draymond, man, and I hope that this gets out to him. Because it's like, he can no longer cost his team by making a valid argument stop and also verbally abusing or obstructing or just going too far, obstructing with the ref. The time to litigate, the time to argue that said call is either upon reviewing a report or after a game or have Steve Kerr take a fine or have Joe Lacob audit the NBA. Now listen to me. Those are all better decisions. Will work for the Warriors organization better, will be more beneficial, and also won't completely possibly destroy the team on the floor. So, here's another thing. It's like, if the foul is so egregious or the lack of, and you can review it, then review it. But listen, if you need to challenge a foul and it's possible, done. If not, getting a technical foul like Draymond did, listen to this. It's like picking up a felony to get out of a misdemeanor. It is literally like that, though. A felony is breaking the law to a certain extent. A misdemeanor is breaking it to a lesser extent. The penalty for a felony is generally larger for a longer time, is a harsher penalty. What I'm saying is that his personal foul that Draymond Green picked up is the misdemeanor. The technical foul is the penalty. I am correct with the analogy. It works. And also, it would behoove any player, any human being that knows Draymond Green to have them review exactly what I said. There needs to be an acceptance that refs make bad calls. There needs to be a true acceptance. There needs to be a method to which the Warriors argue those bad calls, and also that doesn't include picking up technical fouls. Do not commit a felony to get out of a misdemeanor. And if there was any type of, honestly, it's like anybody who understands sports and understands these are really good analogies. So I hope that you're enjoying this. I'm enjoying, talking basketball, shooting the shiz, as it were. We're having a good time. So remember that, Draymond. That is so important. Okay. Brandon Podziemski was plus 18 in the first half. I understand. I don't even know if he scored for the game, but think about that. Look, I know you took at least 2 charges, right? Plus 18 in the first half. The Warriors are a better squad when Brandon Podziemski is on the floor. But here's the best thing about Podziemski. Brandon Podziemski is seemingly such a good teammate and that the Warriors benefit from having a Brandon Podziemski type player, or him specifically, on the squad, because even on the bench, Brandon Podziemski contributes to the team. Even in practices and warm-ups, you can tell that he is a consummate team player. That's what we love. A couple things, maybe a few too many turnovers. I think that the Warriors committed 17. I want to keep it under 10. I'm not even kidding at all. If you commit 10 or fewer turnovers, I can almost guarantee that the Dubs will win. It's a very high percentage, I bet, that the Warriors win. One other comment, there are a whole lot of shot make. We ain't begging, whole lot of shot takers on the squad. So many shot makers and takers on this squad. Like Steph and Buddy are S tier, right? They are like the apex predators. But then it's like you got Wiggins making shots, GP2 even, Kuminga's making a couple out there, right? Just Melton, I don't know if I said that, so awesome. Let's look at some stats. Wiggins, 20 points in 23 minutes. Just, you couldn't ask for more. And I think that he's just still rounding into shape. Buddy Hield, 22 and 5 in only 15 minutes. Okay. Steph, 17, 9, and 10. Almost a triple-double in 25 minutes. Okay. D'Anthony Melton, 3 steals. Kyle Slow-Mo Anderson, 2 steals. Crazy good hands on defense. Crazy quick hands, defending without fouling, although they did give up 30 free throws. Got to have fewer free throws as well, right? Like 15 to 20. But just awesome start. Couldn't ask for more. What were you, please let me know in the comment section, what were you most excited and or impressed with in this Warriors victory over the Trailblazers? Hey, thanks for sticking by. Thanks for tuning in, sticking in with me. This was a good video. Having fun talking Warriors, and it's going to be a great freaking season. Till next time, I'm C-Train. I'm out.